Hey everyone, Lysis here, and today we're going to be starting a new tutorial series, and this series will be all about making a calculator. So for those of you who watch my channel, you guys probably already know that I already have different videos on different components of calculators. However, this video series will be more about the general concept of building a calculator, taking the components, putting together, using inputs and outputs, and in the way that a calculator should function. And this calculator will consist of 4 functions: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And we'll be doing it from numbers from 0 to 99. Now, you could do 0 to 999, but that means I'll have to work with 10 bits, and I don't like working with more than 8 bits because it's a little bit annoying. That also being said, I do have another project coming up where I will be doing a calculator from 0 to 999. But for this tutorial series, we're just going to be keeping it simple, 0 to 99. And I'll just be using 8-bit components, even though you only really need 7-bit components for 0 to 99. So yeah, like I said before, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And I already have some videos on addition out there, except like in this tutorial series, I'll be covering it again, except more just like the general build of it versus like the in-depth logic of it. And I'll be doing the same with the other components, where I'll be coming out with a very in-depth explanation tutorial on how to build those. And then I'll be coming out with a corresponding video in this series where I'll be building them in general and then building them into form in relation to the calculator itself and how to connect it all together and things like that. So for this episode, we'll be covering the general diagram of the calculator itself and the first function, addition. So let's get into it. So now we'll be going over the general diagram of the calculator. So first, we're going to have our input area, which is going to be this, our control unit or control area. And I'll be using red concrete as general busing and stuff like that. So you're going to have your inputs over here. So this is going to determine what the inputs for the values are and what function we are using. So let's just bust this out like that. And then over here, we are going to have a BCD to binary converter. So I'll just turn that, use yellow concrete for that. And then from here, we are going to get a binary output, and then we're going to bring it out like this. Yeah, that should be good. This is just a general diagram anyways. So over blue here, we have blue for the adder. We have pink for the subtractor. And we're going to make this a little extra wide because we're going to have a 2's complement units over here in order to convert any negative binary numbers back into a positive number that can be read by the display. And then here we're going to use magenta to indicate multiplication. And multiplication is going to come out a little longer like that because we are going to be using combinational logic. So over there, if you see that giant long thing, that is a multiplier. And we'll be building a multiplier similar to that for our calculator. And then finally, I'll use lime concrete in order to do division. And division will be very similar. Actually, over here, if you can see, that's a divider over there. So we'll just have a divider over here. And then the outputs of all of these are going to connect together like this. So yeah, this is how it's going to generally look. And we're going to have our display right here. And I'm going to use just white again for the display, like that. So we'll just be having the inputs come up like this. Let's build that up again like there. And that's the input, and we're going to have the output go over here. So like this. So if we're looking at this, we're going to have our inputs go below. And if anything, this will be a little bit further in like this, where you can't actually see it in front of the display. So all of the logic will be behind the display itself. And actually, let me put another yellow concrete thing over here, and this will be a binary to BCD converter. So that way we can convert binary back into decimal using that logic. So this is how we're going to be doing it in general. And like the actual, like the logic of the display and inputting we'll be going over near the end of the series. So we're going to start off with addition, then we're going to go into subtraction, multiplication, then division, and then finally we're going to be going over the input, the output, and the display. So yeah, and now let's get into doing addition. So for addition, we're going to be starting off with an XOR like this. So yeah, like I mentioned before, I already have a video on this that goes into in-depth explanation of the logic, but here we'll just be doing a general build, like just a basic build tutorial, so you guys don't need to worry about the logic and stuff like that. So here we have the XOR to compare to subtract mode right there, a repeater right here for an OR gate, and the XOR output right there. We're gonna have 2 blocks over there with torches on its faces. Then we're going to have a slab right there and a slab right there, a slab right there, and therefore 2 slab towers like this. And the slab towers are going to meet together over here into a comparator in subtract mode like that. Then from that comparator, we are going to have a redstone repeater coming out of it, going into a block. Now down here, we are going to take a repeater output from that XOR, go out a block, go down 1, go around EA much, put a repeater right here, and fill in redstone dust. So like this. And then from here, we are going to be making our second half adder, which is just a variation on that first half adder XOR that we have over there. Now, one thing about this is I'm not like explaining too much about how to build it. It's a very simple, straightforward build. If you guys can look at this, you guys can probably figure out how to build it like this. But like one point I do want to make is you can use any adder that you want. You can use ripple carry adders, you can use insta carry adders, CLE, parallel prefix adders, or whatever you feel like using. Now, I tend to use carry cancel adders, so yeah, we'll be doing that for this tutorial series, but hopefully you guys have, like, you learn how to, like, make this in a way where you don't focus on the actual individual blocks of it, but the general idea of the build, so you can use whatever adders that you guys want to use. And you also can use your own design of carry cancel adder as well. For example, you can use a 3-tick carry cancel adder instead. Anyway, so here we go. This is the basic adder design. And for stacking it, I'm just going to just place some blocks around right here. And yeah, so I'll be using World Edit a lot in this tutorial series. So if you guys don't have access to World Edit, just be careful of not forgetting any blocks, making sure that all the comparators are in subtract mode when you build each layer. And these will be 2 high tileable, so you just need to make the exact same units over and over and over and over up until how many bits that you need. And in this case, you need 7 bits. I like using 8, like I said before, because 8's a pretty convenient number, especially for like doing a binary. Yeah. So we'll just do this. Expand 1 left, expand 1 right, and wait 1 second, I almost forgot. We need dust down here. And we are gonna power these dusts so that, like this, so that they have a total signal strength of 14 on those dust. And the reason why we want 14 is because we're powering this block right here, or this dust right here, and right there it's going to be 14. So the corresponding dust below it will be 14. And if we're gonna stack up, I just want to avoid having to update any blocks, so that's already powered the way it's supposed to be. Anyway, let's stack this up by 7 times. Get rid of these bottom blocks. And just make sure everything's okay. Yep, everything's fine. We don't need that. And then we can get rid of those. And if you want, you can get rid of this top XOR right here, because this isn't really necessary since you're getting a carry output from that repeater anyways. And let's fix this lighting glitch. I hate World Edit lighting glitches, but it's whatever. Anyway, so now we have our adder. And one thing you guys may notice is that we did not put a carry in, because you necessarily don't need a carry in for a calculator, because you're not adding a 1 into any value directly. If you want to add a 1, just add it into one of the inputs, because you're just doing A plus B, 0 to 99 plus 0 to 99. And there's no third input that you necessarily need. And for subtraction, you can actually take this addition unit, add some XORs to the front of it, and then actually put a carry in. So you can turn this into a conditional subtractor. So you can choose whether or not you want to add or subtract. And if you loop it together, you can also, if you loop it around, you can also turn this into a 2's complement converter. So you're able to actually subtract. And if you get a negative binary number, you can set it through again and get a positive binary number output. So yeah, you can do that with this. But for this tutorial series, I'm actually going to be separating the addition unit, the adder and the subtractor, because I want to show how it all looks separately and how it all functions individually. So yeah. And actually, because this is just a build tutorial sort of, I might as well just put a carry in. Carry in. Yeah, that's kind of annoying to say. But yeah. So for the carry in, we're going to want to replace this slab with a block, put a repeater into it to directly power it, put dust down here, and then bust this out like that. And then we're going to put a repeater here on 2 ticks, and that should be your carry in. So let's get rid of the selection. And just to make sure it works, I'm just going to put some levers on so we can do 5 plus 3. So let's just put these in. And if we look over here, the output should be 8. So let's look at that. 1, 2, 4, 8. And that's on, nothing else is on. So we have a working calculator. And just to make sure that the carry in is synced, we're gonna do this. Take an input off of that. Over here, if we click on this, everything should propagate up in sync. There we go. So we have a fully functioning carry cancel adder for our calculator. So yeah. Like I said before, you guys can use any design you really want. You can use the CCA, you can use a different type of CCA, you can use a 3-tick CCA or any other adder, CLE, CLA, PPA, stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, that's it for the adder. Anyway, that's it for this video, and if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe to keep up with the tutorial series, and comment down if you guys want to see anything else to come up in this channel. For example, if you guys want me to do a CPU series, if you guys want me to do like RAM videos, stuff like that. But yeah, that was it for this video where I covered the diagram of the calculator and the adder. So yeah. And also make sure to follow my socials down below, which I have linked, such as Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, especially Twitch, where I tend to live stream a lot. So you guys can come on there, watch me play some Minecraft, do some Redstone stuff, play some other games as well, like Rainbow Six Siege and the new Call of Duty. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all next time.